What is good, YouTube? This is Andy from kaizentcg, and in this video I want to take a look. Are specialty sets the best investment for sealed? Let's take a look. So I'm going to go through the history of specialty sets, holiday sets, if you want to call them. And during the Sword and Shield era, they were not. Now, Sun and Moon had Hidden Fates, which was probably the best one, and Shining Legends. But for the longest time, Shining Legends was available on Walmart and stores, and when it first came out, people didn't even really like it that much, and it was sitting on shelves. But over time, it has gone up, but it took a long time. So let's dive into the data and let's take a look. So going to Shining Legends. Shining Legends currently last sold here for 800 USD. But if you can see here, it was flat. So it was around 50. It went up to about 150. It stayed flat for a while, and then it got up to about 300, and it stayed flat for at least 3 years. Look at this line here. So if you bought it early on and you held till now, it's been 6-7 years. You would have had, now it's starting to run. It started run up last year, so mid last year, spring of last year, it ran up to 500, and now it's at 800. It's a decent set. It has the test tube Mewtwo, which is probably carrying the set, and then there's also Shining Rayquaza, Shining Mew. I wouldn't invest in it now, but it's definitely a collector's item. It's interesting because it wasn't that sought after back then, but now it is after 7 years. So investing in these sealed stuff, it's hard to predict the future, but good stuff over time tends to get some love again, even though it just stays flat for a long time. Shining Legends I always thought was a pretty cool set. It was a smaller set. It brought the Shining Rayquaza, Shining Mew, Arceus, Celebi, Lugia, and the test tube Mewtwo. So it was but at the time of release, it wasn't very popular. It was sitting at Walmart, so you could find it anytime, and now we can look back 7 years later, and yeah, people love the test tube Mewtwo. A lot of people are saying it's top 10, top 5 best artworks of modern era. I like it. A lot of Mewtwo fans love it, of course. But yeah, so that's kind of Shining Legends. That came out, and then the one after that was Hidden Fates. So Hidden Fates during a period of during COVID, when I got back into the hobby, this was the Prismatic, this was the 151, this was the Ascendant Heroes. Hidden Fates, extremely fun set to open. The Shiny GX Charizard, the promo was amazing. The stainless glass burrs, one of the most graded promos in the modern era, top 10. And then there's Espeon, Umbreon, Trainers, Greninja, like a lot of popular species. Very strong set, and it started the whole baby shiny Volt craze. So look at this. So when this set came out, it was over MSRP right away, and back then it was like $35 for as MSRP USD, and it shot up to 100 to 200 to 250 very quickly. Then they reprinted it many times. So look at it right here, right? You see $60, $70, $150, $200. So this part right here, $215. And then during that time also, the facilities were shut down because of the panorama, and they reprinted this set like crazy. So we look at the set and how it's performing, and it was flat for 22, going into 23, going into 24. It went up a little bit, only until last year, as we entered this bull market, we started to see some increase here. So it was 150 for the longest for 4 years. Because they reprinted the crap out of it. There was a lot of supply of it. They reprinted it like 7-8 times. I don't blame them. Very fun set to open. Quality of the cards were great. The print stock, And just last year, around late spring into summer, it went up, and now it's hovering around 400. The performance of Hidden Fates isn't that strong. Maybe opportunity there, seeing that Shining Legends is 800 a box and Hidden Fates is 400. Might be opportunity there. I mean, it is a very strong set, and it's from a very fond era of Sun and Moon. The promos goes for pretty decent in PSA 10. It's a good chance to get a PSA 10 opening this as well, but obviously just keeping it as a sealed collection. There's a beautiful beautiful artwork of the 3 birds there, and that's Shining Fate. So it hasn't performed that strong. So I held this and I sold most of it off last year, because it was stagnant for 4 years, and then last year when it doubled, I sold some of it, and I still have a little bit of it just for memory and reminiscing of a simpler time back in COVID era for Pokemon collecting. So then after Sun Moon era, we entered Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield was not the best for specialty sets. So we had Shining Fates. Shining Fates did nothing for the longest time. Look at this, $35. It was a horrible. It has a Charizard and baby shinies, but look at this performance, $40, $50 for years. It just stayed flat, and now it's selling for 100. So it like just doubled. Terrible investment if you bought this. And last year I offloaded this as well when it went up to about 75. So when this set first came out, it was over MSRP as well, and it was selling for $100 plus, and then they reprinted it like crazy, printed it to the ground, and it basically stayed flat. And it did sell out of Pokemon Center just like everything else, but for 4 years there it did nothing. And this set is not that good, and the price reflects it, but it is selling a few a day here at 80 to 100 bucks. I don't think this set has much liquidity or it'll go up that much. It has a really bad sentiment about it, because it started off high and then they reprinted it, and that kind of killed the hype for this set. Shining Fates, good memories. Then the other set, similar, Champion's Path. This set also came out about 100 bucks at ETB. They reprinted it like crazy, then it dropped down for a while. This set has a Charizard promo, and the other chase is the Rainbow Charizard VMAX, and yeah, it stayed flat for just like Shining Fates for 4 years, and then just last year it kind of bumped up, but it's still only going for 145. It's not even double, so this is also dead money if you put money into the set. I mean, if you got it at 40 bucks, then you know you'd be up 3x, but even then it took so long. So yeah, Champion's Path, small set, not really fun to open. The box is nice and everything, but the chase wasn't that great. So Sword and Shield, the specialty sets wasn't the best, and then that leads us into Pokemon Go. Even Pokemon Go, one of the worst sets. You know, $40 at ETB, stayed flat until last year, went up to, it doubled the summer of last year, and now it's about 100. So even 163 here, but let's say 140. So if you got it from 4 years ago, yeah, 4 years ago was kind of like 3 years ago, 2023 was kind of the bottom, and you still would have, it's even at 50 bucks, you still would have 2x'd your money after 3 years, but not, you know, a lot of opportunity costs wasted there. It's kind of dead money. Not many people sought after in this set. I mean, it has the Mewtwo V Altart, but that's about it. So Sword and Shield for specialty sets was terrible. But they let's see that one. But they did redeem themselves at the end of the era with Crown Zenith. So Crown Zenith also came out end of the Sword and Shield era. The yellow borders, very strong set, but cheap for a very long time. Like, this was an affordable box, $44 for a long time. You can get it at Sam's Club, Walmart, sitting at shelves. Very fun to open. Singles were cheap for a long time. Everybody knew it was a good set, but it was just overprinted. They printed it to the ground, which, you know, it's not bad because then people were able to buy and rip and enjoy and master set it. So I don't blame them for that. And it ended off the Sword and Shield era right. And this set has the Lucario promo as well, and it was yeah, it was flat for a very long time, 2023, 2024, and only until last year when it went out of rotation. So rotation ended actually April of 25, and as you see, as in anticipation, it doubled at the beginning of 25, and then as it went out of rotation here, it tripled in price, and now it is sitting around, there's a sale 281 here, 250. So let's say if you got in at $50 2023, you fast forward 3 years later, 2026, and you basically what, $50, you 5x your investment. This was a good investment. 5x over 3 years, amazing results, right? But the reason being, it's a good set. People love to rip it. Rip and shippers love this set. It's fun to pull, tons of good chase. The Giratina Gold cards, the Mewtwo, V-Star, the Trio, Suicune, Entei, Raikou, the list goes on and on. So this was a very, very good set to close out Sword and Shield. Prior to that, Sword and Shield holiday sets are trash. You wouldn't, it's dead money basically. And then we can take a look at the Pokemon Center. This is the beginning of kind of like the Pokemon Center ETB. Now there's no special stamp promo, only Scarlet Violet has that, but at the end of the Sword and Shield block, they introduced Pokemon Center. This one's just a cooler looking box for sure. Just more packs, and yeah, it was flat, $100 for about 2 years there. And then as 2025 bull market started, it started to go up, and it peaked at 420, and now it's around 400 a box. So even back then you had to buy for 100, so it's gone up 4x in the 3 years. So the regular ETB has outpaced this, just because there's nothing special about this other than the box look. So as a collector, sure, the aesthetics of it, but it just has more packs. The promo doesn't have a stamp or anything, so that probably reflects on the price, the regular ETB. Plus, you can't get a large position. It's hard to get a large position of Pokemon Center ETBs, where the regular one, you can get cases of it. So just take a look at that. So that was the end of Scarlet Violet era, the only investable Sword and Shield box, and still is pretty deep. I mean, at 200, still, if you want to collect it, it's not bad. And I think over time, if Shining Legends can be 800, I think Crown Zenith over time can be 800. Just looking back, just give it a few years as it gets more scarce. It just got out of print last year, so I think this set has a lot of growth left in it, and it's just going to be memorable. And it's also the end of the last of the yellow border cards. Now that we're into the gray border, like the Japanese. So we start going into Scarlet Violet era. Momentum continued. Scarlet Violet, the beginning did not get a lot of love. Scarlet Violet base, Paldea, Obsidian, people were down on it, but 151 did bring back some excitement. Now, these ETBs were cheap for the longest. So when this came out at the end of 23 there, look at this, you see it around $50, and it stayed there for about 2 years. It's from 23 to 24, it was flat. Now, we were in a bear market, and then at the end of 24, I would say around the fall time, you could start seeing it started to move, started to perform. And Costco had a drop of this. It came with ETBs and tins, and they didn't overprint these ETBs. So the future reprints were Blooming Waters boxes and tins and stuff like that, Alakazam boxes, Zapdos boxes. But for the ETBs, they didn't overprint it. So now this has become, the premium product. Well, it's the booster box for specialty sets, right? And you can see the movement here from the end of 24, so it doubled, so $100. and then going into the bull run in 25, by spring it ran up to 270. If you were able to get it at any time in 24 here before the fall, you're getting it for $50, and it did a 5x going into March of 25. It dipped a bit and it continued to grow as supplies dwindle. Going into 1 year later performance, it's $450 a box, basically up to 500, so it's almost a 10x. One of the best investments over a 3-year period is 151 regular ATVs. The bundles were good, the UPC is good. Those three are probably the best, but the creme de la creme of this holiday set is definitely the, what's it, the, type it in, 151. It's the Pokemon Center, the Pokemon Center version. Flat, so you can see here it was flat. It was cheap. I remember buying these for, it was sitting for like 110 to 120 for the longest, and I got a position in this at the end of 24, right, like around here, like summer end. I grabbed a few loose boxes and a case as well. Back then you were able to get case of 4, and now you see them going into 25. It was still affordable, you know. It went up from, let's say 100, say if you got in about 100, by the end of 24 it 2x'd. By spring of 25 it was 4x, and then by summer it was 9x from if you were able to get in 23 or 24 before summer there, or before the fall there. And then it stayed around 900, dipped a bit, and then now it's starting to rocket back up, and there's some sales 1200, 1100. It's about $1,000 a box now, so basically a 10x as well. Very rare box. Stamp promo Snorlax goes for a lot in a PSA 10, and it's very scarce as well, especially the sealed case. But this is like the creme de la creme of products. If you get one of these, you're gonna be loving it. So I think long term, I think it'll slowly go up. Liquidity in the future will be probably not as good, but for a collector or someone that has nostalgia for 151, this is the primo product. So 151 did amazing. So that kind of kicked off Scarlet Violet holiday era. So Crown Zenith, 151 back to back, very strong holiday sets. Then you go into Prismatic. Okay, Prismatic has performed very strong out the gate. I remember it being like 100 to 120 at release, and then it dipped a bit, and they've been printing the heck out of this thing. So let's say even if you got in at 100, 120, we're looking at Feb 25 there, going in 1 year. Now Prismatic is 1 year old. It's up 50%. Let's say even at 100, you get in at 100, it's up 50% now, selling at 150, 180, 170. Considering that this product has been printed to the ground and is continually being printed, the ETB has done amazing and it's holding right strong. But once they stop printing this, sky's the limit. And next year, next April, so 2027, in April, this will be out of rotation, and I think just like 151, it will continue its rocket ship ascent up. And it's a strong set, first of the real true God pack for English, having all the evolutions in the God pack. A very expensive rip, not fun to rip because the Master Balls suck, but that chase and that degen gamble of the set makes it very good. And the EV promo, S tier, stamped and the regular, I think over time that promo is going to do fantastic. So that continued on, right? So you got Crown, you got 151, you got Prismatic, right? And then you look at the Pokemon Center. Pokemon Center came out the gate high and remained high, so like around 250, 300 was the price for Pokemon Center. It kind of dipped around 250 because they did do a restock. You were able to get it on Pokemon Center. Not most people couldn't, right? But like that kind of kept the prices down. But now you're looking at about 400 to 450 for the Pokemon Center. So even then, you're buying it at let's say 250, it's done over a 50% gain in a year. You know, no complaints there. This is the primo product. There is sealed cases of this. This was the last set that came out with the sealed case, so I think there will be a premium on that in the future. I don't know how much it will be, but it'll just be a lot more rare to get a sealed case. But this is the primo product for Prismatic. I think as a collector or a seal collector, like, people are gonna want this and remember this. And I think it has a lot of room to grow. Seeing that Shining Legends is $800, there's no reason why this box won't be $800 in the future, especially once it's out of print. I think it's gonna run very, very hard. And then we go into the next set, Paldean Fates. Paldean Fates came out and it was selling for a brief moment, it was selling for like $50, I would say. And it stayed there for a good majority of 2024 there. And then they just didn't print enough of this supply, in my opinion. And yeah, by the end of 24, it started to move. And going into 25, it doubled in price. So it was already 99. So you're already 100% your money. And then by summer of 25, so 6 months ago, it was already 3x. And it peaked out at 280, which was 5x if you got in at $50 per ETB, which there was plenty of time to do that. This has the Bubble Mew, the Gardevoir, and the Charizard from Akira. So very popular, has one of the most iconic cards of the era, which is the Bubble Mew. And it kind of dipped for a bit, but they didn't reprint this heavy. I mean, it did hit Costco's and stuff, but I just don't see it out in public ever, or it was just not enough, I don't think. And this is going to be out of print here in the next 2 months at the end of April here, and it is at $300. So 6x your investment within less than 2 years. Huge. Paldean Fates has a lot of room to grow. It's a lot better than Shining Fates. Its chase card, the Bubble Mew, is probably better than Hidden Fates. And if you think about it, in a short matter of time, in 2 years, it's already doing better than Hidden Fates. So that's saying something. But Hidden Fates was reprinted to the ground. This, I feel like they didn't print this one to the ground. They printed all the other products, like the Tusk box, but the ETBs, they kind of kept it less printed. And I think maybe that would have been a strategy from Pokemon as the demand surged. They knew they couldn't print as much ETB, so they just print auxiliary products, which drove up the prices of this product. Same with 151, that ETB didn't get printed a lot comparably. And then you got the Pokemon Center ETB, very cheap for a long time, $70. You can get it for like, say, 100. Say even if you got in at 100 the beginning of the end of 24 there, by this end of spring, you're already 2x your money. And then it peaked out at 450, and now it's down to about 420. So even that 4 extra money on the PC ETB has the Paldean Fates, has the stat. The promo is okay. The box is really nice though. And I think this still has a lot of room to grow. Now, PC ETBs are kind of not proven because it's kind of new, but over time, I think for high-end collectors or seal collectors, you want to have a PC ETB, a clean one. And especially if sealed grading becomes a thing, I think these things can have huge potential, just because a lot of people are not going to rip these. And if they did, for the promos, they're like, there's less supply of these, and then they're not going to open the sealed cases. But I don't think this one has sealed cases. Is it? I can't remember. But yeah, the PC ETBs I think will continue to perform just because Paldean Fates is going out of print soon. So this year I expect this one to go up just like 151. So then we had the first dud ETB set for holiday set, which is Shrouded Fable. Not very popular. It was like $30, $40. You can get it for cheap for the longest, but even then, beginning of 25, so to end of 24, it was like $30. And then by summer of 25, so not even a year, like 6 months, you already double your money. And then now it's sitting at $75. So if you got in around 30, it's already 1.5x your money. Even one of the worst sets sentiment wise, Shrouded Fable, it's not a great set. Like if they put the Greninja and the Kingdra in there as the main chase, this set would have been a lot better. But even the set like this is still getting, you know, look at this gains, $75, 150% or something. And it's just not very liquid, not very sought after. So Shrouded Fable was kind of a dud. But even then, it's 150% really a dud if you got it at the lows in the bull market? Not really, right? And then the PC ETBs, able to get them for $60, peaked out at 150, which is like 2x, but now it's coming down to 125. So even then, say you guys for 60s, 120 in a year, 100% your value for PCB, I think is very strong. The promo is okay. The box is kind of nice. The art, it's kind of like a Halloween kind of art style, but I don't think this box is gonna go crazy over long term. But I think this ETB has potential. It might be a sleeper, because if they don't print Shrouded Fable, it might be something like a Dragon Majesty, where it doesn't matter if the set sucks, it's just scarcity drives it. And over a 5 to 8 year span, it could be very valuable down the road. That's might be a hot take, but that's my opinion on it. And then we entered into Black Bolt performing very well. It's $75, still hovering around there. It's been out for 6 months. I think this set is very strong. It has the monochrome black Zekrom. Victini is very popular, and the alt art Zekrom is really cool too, and obviously the IRs. So this might, it's still flat, so this might be a play down the road. I still prefer Ascendant Heroes over this and Prismatic, but if you're able to get this for a good price, I think long term this might be a solid play, because it's flat now. It'll just take some time to increase. And then same with White Flare. White Flare is less popular. The Reshiram is cool. It also has a Victini. But yeah, it's kind of flat at 75 there. And then Pokemon Center version, it went up, and then now it's kind of come down. So you can get, someone got a Pokemon Center for $90. That's a steal. So if you're able to get it for $90, I think that's a play. The Pokemon Center, that might be a play right there. If you're able to get it from let's just say right now selling for 150, if you're able to get it between 90 to like 130 on Pokemon Center, I think it might be a play. This won't go out of print for a couple years, but it's Pokemon Center for this set might be the play right now, because if you're paying 125 and the ETB is $50 more for a PC ETB, you get the stamp promo. Now the promos aren't really not that popular, so but the boxes are nice, and you know, that might be a play to have a couple of these. And then we enter Ascendant Heroes. So Ascendant Heroes coming out the gate strong. 120 a box. You're able to find out on Facebook Marketplace favorite groups for like 110 now. Brand new set that just dropped a month ago, but the ETBs dropped last week, so the data's pretty fresh. I just think I think the price is just gonna hover. It's not gonna be MSRP, it's gonna hover. This is a great set. It's the best set since Prismatic. I think this set has a little bit more wide appeal, just because there's a lot more wide range of Pokemon for people to collect, not just Prismatics, mainly the evolutions. This set, you know, you got the Pikachu, you got the Gengar, you got the fan favorite Dragonite. I had 3 PSA 10 Mega Dream all sold instantly. Gengar, I still have it. That one maybe because the price is high. And then you got the Mega Attack cards, you got the Zoroark, the Metagross, there's the IR Psyduck, the Mimikyu, the Mewtwo, like the list goes on and on. This set is fun to open as well, because you get the IRs. I think if you're able to get ETBs, I would go for cases between, you know, 100 to 120 per box for a case. So 1,000 to like, let's say 1,200 is a snap buy for me, especially cases, sealed cases, because they're harder to get. Loose boxes, you'll have time. This won't go out of print until 2029, so plenty of time. It'll hit Costco's with bundles and everything, just like the Prismatic play. So I'd be patient with just the loose, but the sealed cases, if you want to have them, get some now if you get it for a good price. And then if it does go down in price, DCA down and dollar cost average, and you won't regret it. And then if it doesn't go down in price and you got the case, then you know you're sitting pretty, right? So that's that for the regular ETB, and then you go into the PC ETBs, which this has been kind of climbing here. If you're able to find this for about under 200, snap buy under 200. We don't know if they'll restock it. They might like pop on Pokemon Center from time to time, but I think this ETB will be similar to Prismatic. It'll go up to 400 to 500 within a year and a half. So if you want to get it, this is your time to get it. It's readily available on Marketplace because they just came out. And I think long-term wise, if you're able to get a clean box for about 200, it's a snap buy. Pick it up and just put it away and don't worry about it. Just like how 151 PC ETBs are going for $1,000. Someday this ETB will be $1,000. Not sure how long it'll take. It might be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I don't know, but I think the box is too good. And the promo is really good too. It's a Zekrom promo stamp. I think that's gonna be very valuable, and the set's just too strong. Like 151, like Prismatic, this PC ETB is gonna be the creme de la creme for this holiday sealed investment. And other products that would go well with this is obviously the bundles. That hasn't dropped yet. That's in April. Some sort of SPC or UPC when that comes out. So Ascendant Heroes still has a lot of time. So Prismatic is my main play for holiday set. And in the new modern era, so when Sun and Moon came out, it took a very long time for those items to perform. The booster boxes outperformed it. Sword and Shield era, booster box outperformed it. Even like Evolving Skies, Fusion kind of outperformed. Like Crown Z is pretty good because you were able to get it for like $50 for the longest, so that kind of outperformed. So the end of Sword and Shield, but before that, all the other Sword and Shield holiday sets were garbage. Then we enter SB era, 151 Prismatic. I think Black Bolt will be fine as well, but 151 Prismatic and Ascendant Heroes are gonna outperform most of Scarlet Violet and the Mega era, in my opinion. And only Destin and maybe Paldea can keep up with those 151 Prismatic, but for Mega set, Ascendant Hero is clear-cut favorite. For now, we haven't seen, well, Perfect Order, we know it's not going to be that great. The Greninja set's coming out. You got the Darkrai set, the Rayquaza set, and then the 30th, that'll be another holiday set, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be a holiday set. So they'll print that to the ground as well. So I would say Ascendant Heroes is going to be very, very good. And one more thing, we got, you know, the 30th coming up here. I forgot to mention Celebration for Sword and Shield. So this box was also flat for a very long time. So let's take a look at Celebrations. Look at this. It was flat and cheap for a very long time. $50 for a very long time. I remember in my shop for 3 years. And this was during the bear market, right? And so it was, let's just say $50. It only doubled beginning of January last year. So it doubled. So it took 3 years to get 100%. And then now it's on its ascent as we enter 30th, almost 300 a box. So if you got in at 50, you 6x your money after about 3 years. So you got to give these things time. 4 years, after 4 years. So you got to give these things time, let them mature, let things perform, sentiments change and stuff like that. So now Celebration is really good because we're entering the 30th. People are chasing this, assuming that Generations box is going for really high as well. I'll take a look at that one after. And then you got the PC, did nothing for the longest time, $100, and then now it's 400. So even if you held 22, 4x, not the best investment. It's a better looking box, some extra packs, but there's no promos in these Sword and Shield ones, right? Which it's as an investment, it was okay. I mean, it still did all right, but not the best. It would have been Crown Zenith if you want to go Sword and Shield, and then going into Scarlet Violet, 151 Prismatic, the Mega Ascendant Hero. Those are your winners. And then let's take a look at Generations real quick. Generations Elite Trainer box. The Generations Elite Trainer box is very strong as well. See if I can find it here. It's called the 20th. I know that box is very expensive, but not this one, right? Let me see, guys. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's like a couple thousand, I think. It was flat for a while, and then it ripped up. I must be blind. I can't find it, but I just know that it's a very expensive box now. But it took a long time, and they didn't print a lot of it either. Oh, there you go. Pokemon Generations. It's called Elite Trainer Box. So this one, this is the 20th. And yeah, it was flat for longest, but it was still $500 back in 22. I remember paying like $600-700 for this, and it did nothing for 3 years into 22, and then 25 it started ripping up. Now, going into, so let's just say you got it for 500, you 3x'd going into the fall of 25, and then now that we're entering 26, the 30th anniversary, 2000, 2500, so 4 to 5 extra money in 4 years. I mean, that's good performance, don't get me wrong. But there was other things like Crown that outperformed. 151 is going to outperform. Same with Prismatic and Ascendant Heroes. Those are your top dogs. That is the data I wanted to bring to you guys. I think holiday sets, they figured it out. They figured out the recipe, they figured out the formula, and they are putting out banger holiday sets for us, or specialty sets for us. And they've become strong investments because they are outperforming a lot of the mainline sets, just because it's a lot less packs, and elite trainer boxes are not as easy to get in case form. There's so many other products, SPCs and stuff like that. But drop in the comments below, are you collecting any holiday sets? Are you investing in any holiday sets or specialty sets? If you are, let me know what you're collecting, and are you excited for the 30th anniversary coming up here? If you are, feel free, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and Andy out. Peace.